Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Strange Horticulture. A bit sooner than I originally intended, but y'all seem to like the last episode, and as aforementioned, I do enjoy playing it. So today, given that I am once again bogged down with an assortment of dental procedures, I thought we'd just kick back and take it easy, shuffle some plants around, and continue investigating this quaint little mystery. We'll run things out to the end of Day 2, which marks the end of the free demo on Steam. But if we have time left over, I may run it a bit further. We'll see. Row H, the Third River. It started when she found something that she was not meant to find. A book, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Ambleside Library. That sounds like it might be our friend who works at the Ambleside Library. Day 2, Saturday. It stopped raining. I really like that. Also, we seem to have pulled this card out of our dream, which is probably entirely normal and not something to worry about. I also see this plant has not turned black, so that might not be Wren. We'll just set it aside for now. And Wandering View has indeed wandered, because that is not where I left it at the end of Day 1. Anyway, we've got Will to explore, so let's check this out. Row H, Third River. So, here? Nice. A dead deer in the river, yellowed bone protruding from matted hide and rotten flesh. Death for one provides life for many. Ooh, that's a very pretty one. It actually looks very similar to what we just identified as Lady of Summer. Though I do feel better about the one we've already got tagged, because it's got the curly leaves that were specified in the book entry. The dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Right, okay, that is definitely not Lady of Summer. That is, Gilded Dendra. So we'll just set that over here. And we'll set that maybe Wren next to it again. Gilded Dendra. You know what? Let's put the one with the red fruits next to it as well. That one could also be Wren, because it's got somewhat grassy leaves. The red could just be a herring. Hello, boy. How you doing, sweetheart? Isidore Burbidge. Bring me a sample of Apis demesis. And be quick about it. That damn cat is setting off my allergies. Shouldn't have a cat in a shop like this. I immediately dislike you. Isidore Burbidge, the Barrister. Burbidge is a rich man who inherited his fortune, but never experienced the love of his parents. He expects people to do his bidding, and is quick to anger. There are many in Undermere who would be glad to see the back of him, but with wealth comes power, and few would challenge him to his face. Yeah, I wish we had a firmly but politely refuse service button. But since we do not, what's he want? Apis Demesis? Let's have a look here. Oh, there we go. Gandy root, Apis Demesis. Aids with digestive troubles. But care must be taken because the leaves are an irritant. Only the petals are safe. Alright, Mr. Burbidge, here's your Gandy root. Don't eat the leaves. And please leave my store forever. Meekdew, Mollis Fidum. The beautiful flowers, made up of many smaller florets, make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. No real beneficial value on this one. I wonder why we'd stock it. Though I suppose we also potentially have Gilded Dendra in stock, which is an incredibly lethal poison, so, you know, this one's pretty tame in comparison. This one is made up of clusters of florets, so that might be Meekdew. I don't know about that one. The analysis doesn't mention anything about being painful to the touch, which again I feel would be a major element. But the florets do look similar to the illustration. We'll hold off on tagging that one just yet. And we did the daughters last time, so Kentmere. I descend into a pleasant valley where the village of Kentmere is situated. On my way, I pass the Brockstone, or Badger Rock, which has always been popular with local children who challenge each other to scramble up its craggy sides. I make a beeline to the village church, St. Cuthbert's, which is sheltered by an ancient yew tree. There are many plants to admire amongst the headstones and tombs, but, sadly, nothing extraordinary for me to find today. Which is fine. I just like exploring. Hey, cutie. David Chafer. Lake Undermere is looking fine in the sunshine today. Here's your mail. Thanks, Dave. Hey, a wax seal. Fancy. There's an old slate mine at Hard Knot that has some interesting-looking fungi growing in it. I've never seen anything like them before. They seem to have found a niche in the damp, dark tunnels left by the tramways. I thought you might be interested. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Nice. Let's go check that out. We are looking for Hard Knot. Hard Knot. An iron gate, rusted by years of abandonment, sits across the entrance to the tram tunnel. Rusted it may be, but it won't budge. Locked. And we need Clavilium, which is the plant with the heart-shaped leaves that supposedly opens locks. The gate swings open, slowly, complaining loudly on its rusty hinges. After a short exploration of the tunnel, I am rewarded. Which I guess does confirm that these are in fact supernatural plants. so that's good to know. Aguria, Cyphus spectaculum. When burned, incense made from the woody stem can enhance psychic abilities, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. Light blue flowers like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool characterize this plant. Intriguing. So I don't think it's like these, which are more flower clusters. This sounds more like a blue-tinged cotton plant. So I don't think we've got that one. More mushrooms. A viscous white liquid can be seen oozing from its underside, which we have read about. That is Bishop's Parasol. Let's go ahead and tag that. I feel like the odds of finding more milk-seeping mushrooms are pretty slim. It smells rotten. Yeah, that's just mushrooms. It seems to give off a small amount of light. Okay, well, I believe the only mushroom we have left in our book right now is Farmer's Worry, and it does not look anything like either of those. No rush. This is just day 2 of a 12-day campaign. Let's see, we just did Kentmere. And we've already been to Ambleside, so let's keep doing the top. Fairfield Peak. I reach the rough stony plateau atop Fairfield Peak and catch my breath. The wind swirls and lashes at my cheeks. I take shelter behind a stone wall for a bite to eat, before heading back down the mountain, empty-handed. Still nothing. I wonder if there are actually plants at some of these locations that we just can't acquire yet because we don't have the appropriate clues. Hellebore? Reuben Ward. I'm headed to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The Sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. Reuben Ward, the Investigator. Reuben works with the police on murder cases. He is a kind, good-humored man, but beneath the mask he is deeply sad. His only child, a daughter, had seemed troubled for some time, before running away from home several years ago. The victims whose stories he tries to uncover are all somebody's son, somebody's daughter. The search for answers drives him forward, piecing together the logic of life and death. Sounds like a stand-up guy. Here you go. Nice. Another plant ID'd. Brimlock. Folium caldarius. Those suffering from hypothermia can be rescued by a draught, made using the leaves from the brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that protects against extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, Brimlock produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I tentatively ID'd this one as Mary's Breath, but now I'm thinking that might actually be Brimlock because the leaves look very similar to the illustration. We'll go ahead and change the tag. See, Mary's Breath had very similarly shaped leaves, but the veins are a lot more prominent. Which actually now has me thinking it might be this one. I'm really looking at the mention there about the leaves being designed to help collect water, and this configuration makes more sense because it would funnel water towards the roots, whereas the ones on the other plant would push it away like an umbrella. So we'll now tag this one as Mary's Breath. Oh yes, we also positively ID'd Foxglove. Fox button. Rydal Cave. A large dark pool sits in the belly of the cavernous opening of Rydal Cave. I suppress a shudder at the thought of the monsters that could lurk beneath its serene surface. Hellebore. Victoria Gray. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's Poppy. There's a medium using the room, illegally I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. Harlequin Blue. I think that's the one that emits a screaming sound when you burn it. That seems pretty harmless. Shimmerlung, Animatus lumensis. The dried stem of the shimmerlung burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near blinding white-purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large, ridged leaves. Well, that makes it sound similar to Mary's Breath, but the tubular growths are very different. So I think it's safe to say we don't have that one. It's also thematically similar to Harlequin Blue, which I guess does make sense, because you would assume that Victoria would do at least some research before coming to us with this very unusual request. Alright, let's head for Grasmere. I pass through the idyllic village of Grasmere with its quaint stone cottages daubed in ivy, no doubt occupied by a fancy poet or an artist perhaps. As people pass by, they smile and wave, while children play carelessly on the open green. It's a far cry from the congested, dank streets of Undermere. Perhaps I should move my shop here. But, probably not. Next. Bethany Coleman. You may have heard the rumors that our Arda is dead. May Arduina bring her spirit peace. The nature of her death is unusual. The Sisterhood does not often look to outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry to the forest. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Bethany Coleman, the sister. Beth was born into a loving family, but never felt settled. She sought out a higher purpose when she was still young, and left home at 14 to join the Sisterhood of Arduina. The head of the Sisterhood, the Arda, took a liking to her and helped her to develop a renewed purpose, caring for the forest and putting her faith in the goddess Arduina. Now her mentor has been murdered, and Beth is looking for answers. So a murder at a local coven, a psychic having nightmarish visions, and a lawyer with a mean streak. Very intriguing. Let's have a look at this thing. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen, and the Arda has been murdered. You will find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. Please, help us. Yours in hope, the Sisterhood of Arduina. Okay, sounds like we've got our next destination. Grisdale Forest, across the lake from Torver. There's Grisdale, right near the middle. Oh, and there's Torver, which means we're headed here. A sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I am ushered into a walled courtyard and then through a large oak door, along a corridor and down a set of stone stairs into a cool basement. Lying on a table draped in silk is the Arda. There is not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black, her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as a raven's wing. Do you know what could do this? Asks my escort. I set to work. I extract a sample of the Arda's blood and introduce it to the wren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the wren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I am rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants, which I am grateful for. Gray Sandfire, Sabulum canis. Sandfire has a tough outer bark, which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene, taking care not to swallow it, as it can cause unpleasant stomach distress. The flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. Alright, I think that one's pretty obvious. It's pretty clearly this weird-looking one, with the flame-like tendrils and the rough glass bark. And then we also ID'd Wren, which is this weird seaweed-looking one, which does seem to indicate that we can't always rely on those illustrations. Sometimes they might be a little off. We also have new plants. One of which is very clearly Shimmerlong. It has a pleasing scent. The leaves have stiff ribs. I think that's about as Shimmerlong as we're going to get. Let's have a look at the other one. Turquoise flowers, sharp thorns. Now this time it specifically mentioned thorns, which it did not for the other thorn plant we had. As I recall, the thorns were the main deciding factor for tagging this one, so let's go ahead and pull that tag, and then we'll put it on the turquoise flower instead. Both plants have thorns, but only one of them actually acknowledges it, which I feel like gives it a bit more weight. There we go. Farewell, hellebore. So where did we go last time? Grasmere? Was it Grasmere? Yeah, I think that was it. So, Dungeon Gill. As I scramble up through the wooded ravine, the jagged outline of Jack's rake becomes intimidatingly visible in the distance. But that will have to wait for another day. The fertile forest is lush and enticing, a plethora of colorful plants and trees, but I don't find anything rare enough to take back with me. Oh, this guy. I'm this close to reporting you, halfwit. The last plant you gave me has made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn to the ground if you don't make this right. Hey, we have two options this time. I need to think carefully about which plant to use here. My actions could have consequences. Alright, let's see what these two do. Butterdale. A cure for all manner of skin rashes, which is clearly what he wants. Meekdew, right, this is the page we got from him. It's the plant that leaves painful sores. Which does present me with quite a conundrum, because the deeply ingrained customer service part of my brain wants to just give him what he asked for so he'll go away. But he also gave me an ultimatum. He threatened me. All because he didn't know how to use a previous product properly. Not to mention he didn't like hellebore. So, you know what? Mr. Burbidge, I think I have just the thing for you. Oh, and day's over. That is unexpected. Okay, well let's do some end of day stuff real quick and we'll see where that puts us time-wise. Storian. Interitus dulcis. The dark red fruit should not be ingested under any circumstances, as they are highly poisonous, resulting in insanity and then death. A cross-section of the stem shows the distinctive triple xylem and phloem of the Storian. I don't know what that means. But I do understand dangerous red fruit. And we just happen to have a dangerous plant right here with red fruit. That's 2 points of commonality, so we will tag it. I also forgot about the gilded dendra. Let's move that over. And Meekdew. Let's go ahead and update that. Man, all three of these are dangerous. Maybe I should keep those segregated. Where did we go last time? Shoot, no, that's the one we went to last time. Yeah, sorry. My brain is tired and leaking details like a sieve. You know what? I would like to continue. This only ran us 30 minutes. That's less time than I expected. So I think we'll push into day 3. But I do need to rest my eyes first, or possibly set up some sort of caffeine drip IV. So let's hit the pause button real quick. I'll get myself taken care of, and then we will continue. See what Sunday has in store for us. I imagine it will include a very irate barrister. We'll be right back. And we're back. I am refreshed and revitalized and full of caffeine. Also, Kaiser's here. So, let us continue. North of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Rusland, south of Crinkle Crags. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time, she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book, where it could never be found. Interesting. Day 3, Sunday. Morning, Hellebore. Now let's see where this card takes us. Hawkshead, Lowick, Rusland, and Crinkle Crags. Well, there's Crinkle Crags, so it's south of that. Now we have 3 other points of reference. Nope, there's Hawkshead. So north of that, which means it's on this row, row E. Lowick, so east of that. Oh, and Rusland's right here. So we need to go up here? Here. My eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of a field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair. Vacant eyes fixate on nothing. A whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face. But only a whisper. He raises his arm, points. I follow his outstretched finger and am surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers growing there, hidden from view. Yeah, that's not weird or unsettling or anything. Finding a semi-catatonic old man sitting exactly where our dream told us to go. Bright red flowers grow at the end of thin stems. Dark blue flowers, smells like sweet rhubarb. Neither of which sounds familiar, so I don't think we've got entries on those. Okay, let's ring in our first guest. Wilbur Miller. I'm looking for a plant. Lady of, what's it? Something or other. Ugh, I'm no green-eyed dreer, that's for sure. My mind isn't all what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. Lady of Summer. Coming right up. Huzzah! Good thing I didn't give the other one to him. You know, the one that's super deadly poison. Fennit. Occultist minor. Chewing the tough root of this plant is said to ease gastric distress and reduce anxiety. It has long, soft leaves. Lady of Summer confirmed. And Fennit. Yeah, that looks reasonably accurate. Long, soft leaves. Oh boy, where'd we leave off last time? Jack's Rake. Why did I come here? Shut up, me. That guy's a jerk. Alright, who's next? David Chafer. They're saying the Arda's been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seemed to me the Arda was always looking out for the less fortunate. Well, I know nothing about her, so I can't comment one way or the other. Thanks, Dave. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeve that can keep you warm should the weather turn against you. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Great Gable. That was one of the mountains I just glanced at when we were doing that dream card. And I believe we did just get a plant that staves off hypothermia. But I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't Winterboar, even though it sounds like it would be. Yeah, that one's an insect repellent. No. Right, Brimlock. That's the one I had originally tagged as Mary's Breath. Back to the mountains we go. Great Gable. After several hours of arduous hiking and scrambling, I am still some distance from the summit. I'm freezing cold and ready to head home. I should do the sensible thing and turn back down the mountain. Unless... I push on, no longer feeling the cold, and am presently rewarded. Sunset Mount Cap, Solus ocasum. The sunset mound cap is a type of fungus with domed caps, sometimes called stinking mound cap as a result of its unpleasant odor. It is thought to deter unwanted souls and spirits from entering the home, and is often placed in doorways. It is mildly toxic to humans and should not be eaten. Oh, I think we have that one. We have that mushroom that smells like soured milk. And we also confirmed Brimlock. Where'd my labels go? Yeah, that looks pretty close. Oh, yes. Also, we found this. Which is very clearly winter boar. Gray-blue flowers with an orange center. You know, I think they did that on purpose. Because you'd clearly think winter boar when going to a cold location. Though I suppose here it does also say that it grows in extreme cold environments, so yeah, okay. I should really rearrange this. No, we'll worry about that later. The urge to organize is strong, but not overwhelming. Scaffold Pike. Shattered rock debris and weathered boulders line the route up Scaffold Pike, a name believed to be derived from Old Norse, Skalli Fjall, which translates as the fell with the bald summit. As I arrive at its rocky top, looking out over all to see, that name seems particularly apt. The beauty of this place is not lost on me. A place for the gods, if ever there was one. That's very nice. Hey, cutie. Every time I do that, Kaiser perks his ears up. Norman Lee. This plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please, take it. I want nothing more to do with it. Okay. A mushroom-like plant with red spores growing on it. Gotta say, I was expecting something a bit more cursed looking. Alright, we'll just set this one aside for now. It does look similar to Wandering View, but we've already confirmed Wandering View, so it's definitely not that one. Sorry, urge to organize briefly sated. Next. Simone Green. Hellebore. Always a pleasure, my feline friend. I hope he hasn't been nibbling the plants again. I have a favor to ask. You owe me for the hours I spent digging out the information on those plants. I've been burning the midnight oil again, and I could use some common trouse, and I know where to find it. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on red pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sedberg in the meantime. Here, take this. Simone Green, the Librarian. Simone loves books and reading. She is also irritatingly organized and has begun the overwhelming task of rearranging the library at Ambleside. Her new system works, but it will take years to catalog every book, scroll, pamphlet, and diary. In the meantime, every day yields new discoveries, buried fragments of ancient knowledge resurfacing to the light, like arrowheads to archaeologists. Yeah, that's our friend from day one. Common Trouse, Sparathis nemisium. Despite being described as common, the trouse can in fact be quite tricky to find. However, it is known to grow in abundance on the slopes of Red Pike. Nobody knows why. Its leaves have been used for centuries as a balm against eye strain. Well, I could certainly use some of that. Let's go grab it. Red pike. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the views majestic. I do not have to look hard to find what I am after. Common trouse, I presume. Climbing an awful lot of mountains today. Verona green. When you work with the occult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image. If you're going to be accused of performing witchcraft anyway, it doesn't hurt to put on a bit of a show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, sort of thing. Sure. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad. And the little bugger called my bluff. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what little boys are like. I can assure you he deserves to be turned into a toad. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behavior in the future. Have you got any Shimmerlung? I do? What does that one do? Oh, right, it's Harlequin Blue on steroids. Yeah, that's fine. Verona Green, the Occult Scholar. Verona has been studying the occult and the mysterious for many years. It started as a hobby, but gradually grew into an obsession. She haunts the boundary between truth and tale, seeking out the knowledge that others recoil from. She also brews a lovely cup of tea. Well, that is good to know, thank you. I wonder if she's related to our librarian friend from Ambleside. They both have the same surname. There you go. Candlewood, Lucernum Caledonia. Produces a red flower that provides a shielding effect, protecting against all manner of afflictions of the mind. Long, thin stems grow among tall leaves. Okay, I think we've actually got a pretty good match for that. Thin stems and tall leaves. And we are starting to build up quite a collection here, and we're only 3 days in. Scaffold pike? Nope, we've been there. Sorry. That's fine. I like exploring, but I don't think it actually accomplishes anything. Ruth Douglas. There's a beautiful plant that I've been looking for all over, but nobody seems to have any. M something. Monk brew? I'm not sure. I do know that you shouldn't touch the leaves, though. Oh, me too. Yes, we just used this to poison someone. No payment. And end of day. Boo. But I suppose that's fair. We are past the 50-minute mark at this point, so I really should start wrapping things up. We'll do one more round of exploration, then we'll call it a day. There we go. And this time we'll go to Sea Talon, not Scaffold Pike. The unassuming rounded peak of Sea Talon belies a rather stiff and awkward ascent. The grassy top is bleak and unremarkable, dampening my spirits. Great, and on that cheery note, I think we're done. Once again, I really enjoyed doing this. It was very relaxing, so much so that I fell asleep right in the middle of it, which may also have something to do with my habit of recording at 3 in the morning, but, you know, what are you going to do? That said, we will hit the pause button for now, but I am going to keep picking at this in my spare time. I'd really like to see it through. It's a relatively short game, so as long as you guys keep enjoying it, I will continue sporadically updating the series. But that'll also give you ample time to go check the game out for yourself if you think it's something you might enjoy. So, farewell for now. But we'll pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Strange Horticulture, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.